Val, let's start with, since Marianne's holding the microphone. How many hours a week do you work, and what is your best time management strategy?
Well,
I'm going to listen to every second of what you say.
I'm going to tell you one thing that is now working for me, and you might think this is absolutely crazy. But on Mondays, those are usually my busiest days because I have school board meetings. So I'll go in at the regular time, which is 7:30, 7:45, and I will take a quick break between 5 and 6:30, and then I'll be back, and then I'll be at work till, it depends how long it will go. It might go till 9, it might go till 9:30. The earliest it would be maybe would be 8:30. But when I go home, I do follow-up work. I have to pick up the pieces from the board meeting just to make sure that I have my thoughts together and I can take care of all those loose ends. And for a while, it was really hard for me to sleep, and I imagine there are other people out here that have that problem. And I started this year to take the 5:30 a.m. yoga class at the Y on Tuesday mornings. And it is helping me. For some unknown reason, I'm actually sleeping a little bit better, and I feel as if I'm functioning better because I'm taking that time, I'm reserving that time for myself, and I'm going there and I'm doing it. And it seems to give me the power and the strength to get through Tuesday, which sometimes might also be as long as Monday. It's hard to predict. So when Cathy asks how many hours a week do I work, probably anywhere between 50 and 75. I don't know. I think that's about right. I would also say that might sound like a whole lot, and it is. But I also make sure that I take my vacation time, and that helps me be clear-minded when I come back to the job.
Well, and maybe one that wasn't handled so well.
Well, you know how, when things don't go your way, you sometimes get a little bit defensive, or, how could that happen to me, and this and that, and you get your back up against the wall. That happened to me when I was in the middle of my career, I would say. I had finished a principalship. I had worked at Lancaster as a principal for a number of years. I was in an assistant superintendency and also a principal at the same time. This was in a small district. I wanted a superintendency, and a lot of people don't even think that anybody would ever want to do this job, and I know that. But for some reason, I was driven, and I wanted to do this job. And I applied for it, and I was not given the job, and that was at a point that I was in a small district, and it was primarily, the people on the board were not ready to have a female superintendent, and that came out. That was a reality. That was one of the things that was real. So I remember getting upset about that and angry about that, and in some ways it motivates you to work a little bit harder or to find the right situation, all of those kinds of things. It pushed me to finish that doctoral program, move forward on that work at Lehigh, and from there, I think I started to explore, and I ended up where I am today, which I think the failure of not getting what I wanted, and that happens to everybody. You might have 5 or 6 times before you get what you want, or 7 or 8, or maybe you don't get what you thought you wanted, but then you found out something was even better. So that's one thing. So criticism, I get criticism frequently, and I'm sure you're aware. Call a snow day and put it on Facebook. If you want criticism, I've got criticism. Or don't call the snow day, and everybody else did. So that's part of my job. I have to be aware of that, which means I have to try to do my yoga and pray and stay centered so that I can build some positives in my life, because I know that I'm an open target, but that goes with the territory. Thanks.
Level of energy that's constructive for whatever you set your goals to be.
The one thing that I have available to me, which some people don't have, is the access of classrooms and children and teachers. And when I am feeling overwhelmed and uninspired and as if we're never going to move forward, if I spend time with children and talk with our teachers, I am revitalized and I love what I do. And that's what keeps me going. If I don't build that in for myself, I will suffer, and the organization suffers. So it's important.